Good evening, hello, and welcome to episode 19 of the Sounds Legit podcast on a Sunday, 24th of July 2016. How you guys doing? You alright? I am in pain right now. Okay, wait, I suppose I should have just waited for you to respond before I talked, but since I'm only mostly talking at you, you most likely have to listen. No. How you doing? You good? Oh man, yeah, I am absolutely getting old every day, and I can feel it. Just my entire body just creaks. You ever like, I don't know if you ever been to the gym and then you go to bed, you sleep, and then next morning you want to wake up and you're just like, that's me. I just played football today and it was good. It was good. We didn't have much of a disruption like last week from that fucking asshole. Ow, I think I just got bit literally at the back of my head up by a mosquito because now there's this bastards. Yeah, no, it was a good game. Totally enjoyed it. I can't complain. No, I had lunch, tried to take a nap, couldn't sleep. I just stayed there for an hour, then I got up and just everything hurt so much. Oh man. But anyways, you don't care about that. But no, I've been well. I've been doing good. Keeping my time, keeping fit, keeping healthy, catching Pokemon. Gotta catch them all. Although, to be honest, I might actually need to retire. Because my phone's just not good enough. It's 3 years old and it crashes all the time. I find myself having to reboot the phone all the time. And my phone literally just emits radiation about 5 minutes into me launching the app. I'm talking about the Pokemon Go app. Yes, I spoke about it distinctly at length last week. And I'm going to talk about it just a brief now. Just a brief spurt. No, I went Pokemon hunting with some buddies of mine. And before you roll your eyes at me, listen, yes, you will roll your eyes, and you are perfectly within your right to roll your eyes, but before you do roll your eyes, you listen to me. Now, first of all, think about the most favorite thing you like. I don't care what it is, but, just think about it. It's you. Have you found it yet? Yeah. Now, I want you to hold it. Just hold it for a few seconds. Just keep it in your forehead. Now, think of that, yeah? That thing that you really, really like. For me, that's Pokemon Go. So, yeah. So I don't know. You don't see me, scrunching my nose at you or looking down on your pastime or hobby. So yeah, cut me a slack. And besides, it's all about the experience, man. I mean, I got to experience being a Pokemon master trainer thingy, going around hunting Pokemon. But I did mention to my buddy saying it would make the game so much more better if you can fight other people. At least that would allow for tactics. And I think it will happen. Because I think this is the stage where, everyone's just bulking up on Pokemon and catching the strongest Pokemon ever. But I believe it could get better if, the next round of updates allowed you to just fight people. So, I don't know, maybe the Android phones could use Bluetooth or near-field communications to transmit the data, as well as, having a GPS tag the event or whatnot. And I would love it if, in a way, if you lost a match with another Pokemon trainer, your Pokemon would lose stats, so you can't just get, because otherwise it'd be boring. If everyone just had a high-level Pokemon and, not, it would be boring after like 2 weeks. I mean, hopefully they can fix that. But anyways, no, we did go. We went for a social, we had lunch, we did really mostly, we're like fucking drones just barreling into people. But we did catch a lot of Pokemon, which was fun. So, hey, at the very least, it got me out of the house. So yeah, you may comment with the eye rolling and stuff. And to be honest, I woke up this morning and I was, doing my YouTube rounds and whatnot. And I discovered that there are reports that, you remember Amber Heard, that gold digging, you remember her, yeah? Yeah, I remember that one, yeah. Apparently she's shacking up with like this billionaire chap, Elon Musk. And I'm just like, okay, so, multiple sources spot them hanging out with each other all the time. And I'm like, okay, so I want to give Elon Musk the credit here to see that he is, literally locking himself in a cage with a with a vicious predator. Because hey, they might be friends, but you never know. You never know. I'm just hoping they are friends and nothing's going on because Elon's in the middle of a divorce right now, and apparently this chick might get, I don't know, up to $7 billion of his $15 billion wealth, $15 billion wealth. And again, I don't know, man. I don't think she doesn't even have kids for him. Elon's such a, to be honest, I think he's a fucking idiot. I mean, the guy, he already has 5 kids with his first wife, whom he divorced, shackled up with his second wife, divorced her, then remarried her, and now she's divorcing him, and she's going to take about, people are rating us as $7 billion. For what? I don't care. You can't get $7 billion. You didn't help this guy build his world. Maybe I should check on that. But Elon Musk is a brand at this point. He, regardless, I don't understand how she can get $7 billion. What's she gonna fucking do with $7 billion? It's like that oil billionaire, that Russian oil billionaire that, okay, fine, in that case, he was married to his wife when it was, relatively okay, without his billions. Built this oil company from the ground up. And then after about 19 years, he decides he wants to divorce her. And, he wrote her a check for $1 billion. And initially, she was like, she rejected it. I don't like, because I think the guy's worth like, I don't know, maybe $17 billion or something. And he wrote her a check for $1 billion. That's 9 zeros. And she said it wasn't enough. I did speak about this in, so many episodes ago. And I'm like, how fucking greedy can you be? Yeah, I know you're married to the guy. I'm referring to the oil billionaire's case. I know his wife. Yes, she spent her youth with him and everything. So yeah, I mean, come on, man. And she was gonna go for half of, let's hypothetically say, $19 billion. I don't give a fuck. You don't deserve half of that. $1 billion is enough for multiple lifetimes. You will never know poverty unless you piss it all away in a gambling hellhole somewhere. So going back to the Elon Musk situation, I mean, the guy is just like, I don't know, man. I mean, it's just, I don't get it. I think, to be honest, there should be a cap. If the guy is a billionaire, you can only get $1 billion because anything else is obscene. You don't deserve anything outside of $1 billion. It's like you helped him build SpaceX, you helped him build Tesla Motors or whatnot. That's all Elon Musk, and of course his collaborators and everything. So the guy deserved that fucking wealth. And honestly, I mean, it's just like, again, it's just one of these cases where, like, I don't know, I just feel like women are just taking out really great men, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tiger Woods, Johnny Depp, Elon Musk. I mean, in this particular case, it's just the fate of the species hangs in the balance. Because what? This guy is coming up with new technologies to help humanity. And how's he going to fucking do that if some chick just cleans him out of billions of dollars? What? Because, I don't know, she sucked his dick and he fucked her a couple of times. I don't give a fuck, no. I don't care that no one deserves that amount of money. If they were business partners, if she, built the business with him and she was a member of the board and blah, 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 yeah, fine. I mean, outside cases of nepotism of having your wife on a board or chairman in a company, but I would get that. But no. Yeah, I'm sure she was nice at the time. It was nice to her and etc. But she doesn't deserve more than $1 billion in that case. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Where's the fairness? Fucking $1 billion not enough. Jesus Christ. $1 billion. You give that to me, I think I'll just die within 2 weeks because I'll just order pizza and just eat. I'll just get all fat. That's when I allow myself to be fucked. So I don't give a fuck. Honestly, 9 zeros. $999,999,999. I mean, I can't even comprehend. If you give me £1 million or something, I can't even comprehend that. If someone gives like £1 billion, I'll be dead in 2 weeks. Honestly, I don't think I can handle. I don't think no human being should handle that money. To be honest, I think there should be a cap. There should just be $1 billion or £1 billion cap for every person on the planet. If you get up to $1 billion, that's fine. I don't think anyone should get more than $1 billion. It's obscene. It's just sheer madness. It's insane. I I can't even comprehend a life that just sees those numbers. I mean, what kind of a human being is that? I don't think that person's a human anymore. That person's a god. I mean, imagine that. Essentially, everything in life is free. Everything. You can just walk into a building and say, how much does this cost? It will cost $70 million. Million? Yeah, I'm buying it. And then, you can just buy it and then take a dump in the foyer and then sell it off the next day like a proper gangster. You don't even give a fuck, son. No. It's just... No, that's ridiculous. I mean, and even Elon Musk, I don't understand why does he keep getting remarried? Why is he getting... Why? And I've said this at length before. I don't want to go too much off the course, but why? Why is he getting remarried? It doesn't make any sense. You already have children. You were married once. Your wife divorced. I don't know. You called it divorce, and she probably got compensated financially because, honestly, 5 children. If so, it's like Mel Gibson when his wife cleaned him out for $200 million. I don't even complain. I'm like, after 7 kids, yeah, she fucking deserves that. She had been with him all through his career, had 7 kids with him, and then he decides to go divorce her because, he's Mel Gibson. And she's like, $200 million. And I'm like, you know what? I support her in that case because I'm like, dude, $7 million. She's just birthed 7 kids, and she spent all her youth and everything with you, and you just want to, it's $200 million, it's fine. So I'm not complaining. That's probably the only scenario where I condone that. I say, yeah, that's fine. I can sanction that one. Like, I'm the authority when it comes to divorce settlements and whatnot. But, okay, going back to Elon Musk again. He has 5 kids with his first wife, divorces her. Then he shacks up with this other lady who's divorcing him and is taking half. And now he's fine. Not that he's going to marry Amber Heard, because that would be suicide, because that would, for me, prove that academic intelligence does not equate social common sense faculties. Doesn't equal, or how do you say it? Being academic doesn't necessarily confer common sense to a person, because honestly, if a person is like, multiple PhDs, doctorates, blah, 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 and you're still shit at handling basic life, then I don't know, man. I think there's something sorely missing in your life. And I said it again, I'm echoing a previous episode I did. There seems to be this over-emphasis on academia, and of course it kind of makes sense. That's how you build civilizations, right? But at the same time, while doing that, please just educate people about basic common sense. I mean, I've run into a lot of people that, on paper they're intelligent, they're very smart, but they're just arrogant twats, like total fucking assholes. And I'm like, okay, so if you're so smart, right, why don't you figure out being a nice person? You can't. No, honestly, for me, it just makes sense. Like, yeah, you can remember at the end, all the entries in the 1791 Encyclopedia Britannica or something. But if you're not a nice person, it doesn't mean shit to me, man. You're still a piece of shit, Fucking hell. Oh, yeah, and Elon Musk, yeah, fucking hell, man. If I was Elon Musk, if I had billions of dollars, man, like I said, I'll be dead in 2 weeks, but I will never get married, honestly, after the first marriage just ended in a divorce, and I already have children, dude, I would be shipping in whores all around, just outsourcing from every part of the planet. I'll have them just being dropped by C-130 gunships in parachuting. You ever seen Band of Brothers? Yeah, Band of Brothers. Yeah, like the D-Day invasion of the Nazi Empire, whatnot. The D-Day invasions of Normandy and whatnot. The guys just, more or less the 101st Airborne, right, of the United States paratroopers. They're just jumping off the plane, with parachutes and whatnot. Yeah, that's the level of sophistication I'll have. Just airdrop into my property. I'll just buy out one of the counties in this country and kick everyone out and listen, this is now the region of Kevin Stan. Of course, I'll still answer to the crown, naturally, of course. Probably still have a few police and fire departments and a few councils around. But I'll just have this estate and just have whores just being shipped in by Apache, not even Apache gunships. I mean, I'm talking about C-130 transport ships. I'm talking about Chinooks. I'm talking about the Huey choppers. I'm talking about armored personal carriers just making convoys to my house every day. you think I would ever get married? Fuck that. I mean, how is it not? Again, that's the other thing I'd complain about these dudes. How is it not apparent to you that if you're that rich, you become a target for gold digging predators? You know, because I'm sure Elon Musk's wife, that's what she was in there for. I mean, forget all the facade of like, oh yeah, I'm a classy lady. I mean, yeah, that's what we're looking with Amber Heard. She's a classy lady on paper, supposedly, allegedly, superficially. And yeah, she's a scheming, cold, calculating, you know, I would say whore that's out for money. You know, it's a money grab at this point. So, oh God, I'm just hoping that Elon Musk, I'm trying to give him the credit. Yeah, the what's it called? Oh God, it's a legal phrase in court. You know, when you're trying to find someone guilty without a doubt or something or whatever. I'm trying to give him that particular. Oh man, honestly. So we'll see how this develops. Because honestly, at this point, I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. I think, you know, she's just monkey branching. This is Amber Heard, of course. She's just monkey branching from one dude to the other. I mean, we'll see. I'm actually talk about this in another episode. But no, man. Yeah. Summer's here. Last. Heat everywhere. And of course, you know, with the heat and the summer, you get, you know, fucking insects everywhere. I mean, okay, spiders are not entirely insects, but it's interesting because I see a bunch of spiders just hanging out in my flat. I don't kill them because I don't know. I don't kill spiders. I don't know. I kill the really vicious ones because the ones that, you know, you look at them and you have this primal need to kill them. I kill those ones, but just the normal ones, I just let them hang out. There's like 2 of them in my kitchen right now. I call them single mothers because there's this particular spider just hanging out with a bunch of eggs. And I just call them a single mom. So I'm like, I'm a landlord for single mothers. In a way. And of course the spiders, they do help out with the pest control in a way. It's just I don't like the webs, the cobwebs they spit out. It's just ridiculous. But no, I mean, the major problems I've been having so far is just flies, man. You know, fucking flies, man. Honestly, it's making me to the point where I cook at night. I don't cook during the day, you know. I just don't, you know, because I reckon it's always a good idea to cook at night, especially during the summer. I mean, I say this because cooking at night means you don't have to deal with fucking flies trying to, you know, dive bomb into your meal. And to be honest, I've seen some of them try. You know, it's like I'm cooking something, it's just hovering over it. And I remember back, this was back in like 2008, 2007. I was still living in a house here, and I remember working late that was the first time I worked late for my consultancy job, actually. And I go home, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to make me a steak. I got some chips in the oven, and I'm just going to make some broccoli. So chips in the oven is heating up. Steak is fine. And because I was cooking at night, and the windows were kind of open because it was during the summer, I had this... Okay, in fairness, it wasn't a fly at this point, it was a moth. This moth just flew in, all drunken, flying random patterns and hitting the light bulb and everything. And I was just looking at it, and I felt so tired and in this kind of weird trance-like state that when this thing just literally flipped around the bulb in a parabolic arc and just dive bombed into my my really 500-degree Celsius frying pan with my steak on it. I didn't even flinch. This thing just, luckily it didn't hit the meat, so I would, you know, so it just literally, did this parabolic arc around the bulb and just went straight, dove bomb into my frying pan and instantly got killed. It's like, oh man, it's just like, I mean, I was so tired. I was like, what? And I took the pan off, just took like some random utensil, kitchen knife or cutlery, and just scraped it off my pan, scraped that bit off where it landed with some tissue, and just put my fucking steak back on the fire because I didn't give a fuck at that point. I was like, listen, I'm gonna eat. I was so tired. It was like 9 o'clock at night and I hadn't had decent food all day, and it's like, you motherfucker, trying to ruin my meal. But no, yeah, like I said, you know, yeah, it's fucking flies, man, you know. And besides cockroaches, I absolutely fucking hate flies. Honestly, it's so fucking disgusting things, man. Whenever I think of a fly, where a fly has been, it's literally been in a shit pile. That's how I imagine every single fly I see. And there's specific ones, I think these flies in England, they're called blue bottles. And they're kind of bluish green. Those I fucking hate the most, because those are the ones that actually lay eggs and shit. Literally. So, I know the vegetarians will say, you know what? All those cows here, they was shit everywhere. And all the flies would burrow into the shit and lay eggs. So if you went all vegetarian and we didn't have cows anymore, we'll probably have less flies. And like, you know what? Yeah, that's true. But fucking meat is delicious, alright? It's amazing. You should try it. And I don't really believe it's a vegetarian or a vegan. But anyways, we'll talk about that in person. But yeah, I suppose that's a good point, actually. But meat is delicious. Bacon is delicious. So I can deal with it. In fact, this entire podcast is about me dealing with fucking flies, man. Honestly. But, fucking disgusting things, like I said. It's just... okay, fine. I think you've probably heard about this particular, it's not anecdotes, but this general common knowledge about, because of human modern ways of living, we exterminate hundreds of species every day. But somehow there seems to be no fucking significant dent in the general fly population. I remember I did read some interesting article about how there's a particular fly species that got, I don't know if it's extinct now, but the scientists kind of, genetically manipulated some of it. Okay, so what happens in America, and at the dawn of the 20th century, back in 1908 or something, there were these flies in the Great American fields, I don't know, the breadbasket, where all the cattle live or whatnot. The middle states, that's what the breadbasket of America, anyway. And there were these flies that would only lay eggs into the flesh of its host or animals. So they did this mostly to cows, and you can imagine what it did. You just have fucking maggots just burrowing in and out of fucking cows and ruining the meat and giving the cows diseases and whatnot. So even back then, the scientists, they kind of bred particular, I'm trying to remember the exact method they used. Something along the lines of they bred they genetically manipulated the female or something, or male, so that whenever, new eggs be laid or something, almost you get about 80% of those eventually margos and eventually flies, they were unable to reproduce. So in a way, they kind of bred out that species of flies back in the early 20th century. So I thought that was really interesting, actually. But no, but just in general, flies, man, it's just like they're fucking everywhere. Fuck me. Were it not for Nordic temperate regions, those things would just drive humans to extinction. I kid you not. If they didn't drive us crazy first, can you imagine? I grew up in Nigeria, and during really hot, when it's really hot, you just get fucking flies everywhere. In fact, I was Skyping my mom earlier this evening, and somehow this fly managed to get into my flat, and I don't mind that sometimes because I don't have any food open, but it just started hovering around. I'm like, why are you here? Why? Are you lonely? Is that it? Is that why you're hovering over next to this colossus that could kill you? Because I would fucking kill it. I'm gonna head off and kill it in a second. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Imagine about 18 of those things just buzzing around your house or your flat. Honestly, it's just, oh man. Like cockroaches. Why won't these things fucking die out? Or get some kind of species-wide diseases that causes entire swarms of these cunts to just have stillbirths of trillions of fucking larvae. I don't know. It's just they seem to just be resilient. So I think by the time humans we die out, probably cockroaches and flies would duke it out or something. Honestly, at that point. Could you imagine if flies were the size of a car or something, or that magnitude? Can you imagine that? A cow, no, it's not even a cow. That's too big. Just imagine a fly being the size of a cow and how horrifying that reality would be. They would just be jacking people left and right. Granted, because of the mass, they probably won't fly as fast. But can you imagine? You remember watching Apocalypse Now? the Ride of the Valkyries, that famous scene. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I mean, okay, fine. I'm not insinuating that flies would actually, play the Ride of the Valkyries as they descend upon us to feast on our babies or something. Whatnot. No, I'm just saying that you can just hear because they buzz, So everyone would just be cool. I can imagine like a city center on a Sunday market, everyone's chilling, just buying fresh produce, and then the alarm goes off. And then you can just hear it. There's always some lady that screams in those situations, It's like the alarm goes off, and before anything happens, it's like, some lady screams, and everyone just panics. But I could just imagine like early warning air raid system sirens going off, and then you just see like a bunch of these fucking flies, about a platoon of them, just descending. Well, they don't swarm though, that's the thing. But, they just fly, and then you just start seeing like a flak cannon just shooting tracer fire in the air. I suppose at that point, if the flies become a problem at that point, I don't think we'd have air superiority, because I think they'll just be jacking people left and right. We'll probably not even develop that far. You just have like old World War II style planes just duking out with them, like dog fighting fucking flies. And then go back to the scenario. People would just run, people would just flee, and then you just have the flies descend on people and just making off with people's property, and in fact actual people. God damn, that should be a movie. I think that I want to write that as a script, just having flies jacking people's babies and whatnot. Ugh, that's scary. But for some bizarre reason, I just had this whole weird feeling that I would love to see someone take out such a fly with like a SAM, like a surface to air missile, maybe like a Stinger or something. Just fucking take it out of the sky. It lands, and we just start unloading bullets into it. Just like something like if you ever seen Starship Troopers. Yeah, that's what I mean. Oh man, okay. Apologies, but no. Oh man, if that was the case, I didn't even think we would even have civilization, to be honest. I mean, try setting up like a log cabin in the middle of a hot summer whilst fending off flies the size of Volkswagens, jumping people and making off with the odd occasional kid, all because some fuckhead decided to do a cookout instead of doing the fucking job properly. Honest, I mean, as I said, nothing would ever get done. Obviously, would probably still be, probably all still be in caves. I don't even think that's correct. Only venturing out at night to hunt rabbits and gather herbs and all the assortments of berries. Heck, to be honest, we'd probably just let our civilization be dwarf based. Like those dwarves in Lord of the Rings. In that we'll just burrow so deep into the ground and turn the entrances into like Fort Knox type kill zones for anything stupid enough to venture close. It's like kind of what those people decided to do towards the end of the third Matrix movie. You remember that one? Yeah, I think they call it Matrix Revolutions and whatnot. Yeah, that's what they decided to do then. It wasn't the one where Neo and Trinity banged during a rave party. I mean, yeah, those Zion people, they know how to fucking party, I'll tell you that. You remember that one, right? Yeah? It's the one, where... No, it's not. Yeah, that's the third film. Yeah, because the one Neo and Trinity banged was the second one. Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ. I think the third one was the one Neo was fighting like 83 million Agent Smiths. Or he was supposed to fight them anyway with a pansy, but loses to the first one. I mean, granted, it wasn't an easy fight, but god damn, I mean, that first time I saw the film, I was just like, fucking Neo, kick his ass, I believe in you, Neo, I fucking believe. And then somehow, it just fucking, Agent Smith just totally owned him, And it was so ironic, really, the sheer fact that I lost, and I was just like, oh god, that was so sad and depressing. Just watching Neo just give up, saying, "You're right, Smith. You're always right." It's kind of like watching your childhood hero lose, to be honest. I mean, that shit changes you, though. I mean, before I even go back to the human underground civilization brought about by, Volkswagen monster truck sized flies. Can you imagine that, man? Still, just imagine how horrible that would be. God. I recall watching the second Matrix movie with this dude and this kid in the cinema. It was a they were sitting next to me. It was a packed cinema, and I saw it at the few cinemas in Cambridge before they got shunted, to off the county. Now, if I recall the events correctly, the film was rated 15 or something like that. But this guy's kid must have been 12 at least, or at least max 11 or something, or 10. And he decided to bring his kid to come watch this film, right? And I was sat there watching it, and I'll never forget the look on this guy's face when Neo and Trinity were literally plugging USB dongles into each other. I mean, automatically speaking, it was mostly Neo plugging his USB stick into Trinity's USB 3.0 Express. Honestly, I'm going to fucking hellfire for this. Oh man, you had to be there, man. Even in the twilight of a massive room, it's just action packed with people. I mean, I could witness the color drain from this kid's dad's face. I had to just stifle bursting out laughing my ass off in front of this guy. I mean, can you imagine to be a fly? Haha, call back, ironically speaking, on that wall to just eavesdrop on, the dude, you just eavesdrop, just listen to the conversation the dude would, is like attempting to have with the wife or the kid's mom, trying to explain why her son was subjected to like tits. Well, there were a lot of tits in that rave party, actually. The actual rave party, and plug sockets, just dotted all over people's spines. And, withstanding the occasional socket plugging, like Neo and Trinity, of course. Yeah, I love to see and hear that, actually. Oh, man. My point remains, though. I felt absolutely no sympathy for the guy. He wasn't supposed to bring his kid to that movie. It was just, I didn't expect that. I don't think anyone expected that, to be honest, It's just all of a sudden, it's like, me and Trinity are talking, and okay, rave party, and Morpheus is saying something about machines, and I was like, how kinky is that? And then, you got Trinity, and I thought it was just like, wow. I mean, I didn't mind watching it, obviously, but, you should have seen this guy's face. He just sank back into his chair, just gripping. The hand was really tight. I couldn't see his kid properly. I was just like, man, what is going through that kid's mind right now? It's like, Dad, what are they doing? No, seriously, fuck that guy. I mean, he shouldn't have brought his kid. That's his fault. Shit. I remember watching RoboCop. I need to watch that again. There's a bunch of movies I want to watch. I think I'm going to watch Ghostbusters after this. I'm recording this on a Sunday, actually. Did I even say the dates earlier? Yeah, I think I did. And the new Ghostbusters movie came out, and I'm not even going to fucking watch it. I'm not going to pay money to watch that. I might just watch it if it pops up on Netflix. Because Netflix seems to get some crappy movies that no one wants. And I might maybe just find it on the web somewhere. But I'm not going to fucking watch it. Apparently, it's just doing so bad now. At least by now, you should be aware that the Ghostbusters movie was just like one of the worst. Like, it's one of its trailers was the worst downvoted videos of all time on YouTube, with 977,000 downvotes and 268,000 upvotes. I mean, it's just that whole thing about this whole feminist nonsense again. It's just like, again, there was no need to remake this movie, but they did. And you had these 4 women try to play this, strong women, blah, blah, blah. Not that I even mind that. I don't necessarily mind that, but it's just the way it's implemented. It's like, for them, it's like, oh yeah, they can do anything. They're the good guys, and men are always dumb and stupid. It's that same narrative. It's one, and it's the same thing I don't like watching Family Guy. Besides the funny, it's just that same narrative where the wife is always the more sensible one. She's always the smarter one. Although in Lois's case in Family Guy, it's not always that. She's just a bit silly as well. But you get that everywhere else. You get American Dad. You get that in almost any TV show now. These just guys are made to feel like bumbling and stupid. And sometimes you see it in adverts as well, where the woman just has everything under control. I'm like, no, that's not how it happens. It happens all the time. That's ridiculous. But anyways, that's what you get in this new Ghostbusters film. You know, the guy that plays Thor, I think Chris Hemsworth, is in the movie as. So if you watch the original, you know Janine, the secretary. Excuse me, AVG just going fucking crazy over here. Let's click that away. Let's see. What's the time? What's the time here? How is this working? I don't understand. Oh, that's fine. What was I? Lost my train of thought. Yeah, like Janine in the original Ghostbusters. I mean, yeah, she wasn't made to be silly. She wasn't made to be incompetent. She was actually a very good, you know, like humor plot in the film. She was actually quite funny the way the character was portrayed. Nobody was, you know, it wasn't like the men were making the women seem stupid and everything. And ironically speaking, like, you know, I think a lot of people analyzed the movie saying, you know, the ghosts weren't even the bad guys in the original movie. It was just like the government in general, because the government was trying to clamp down on the Ghostbusters, and they were just proving that, listen, just let us do our fucking job and we'll sort this out. But apparently people were saying that in this new Ghostbusters movie, it's all the ghosts were the bad guys, and again, men were made to look like incompetent and dumb, and women were made to look smarter. And I was just like, and I think, yeah, that just rubs people the wrong way, and it rubs people off the wrong way, and nobody was watching the movie. There were reports of people on Twitter, which I should create an account, but I haven't done so forgive me, saying that, you know, they went to watch the movie and there's just nobody there to watch it. You get like maybe 17 people in an entire movie hall. So across the United States, this movie is just taking a monumental beating. And you go to Rotten Tomatoes, it has a very high, well, I think a relatively high score. And critics are saying, oh, it's the best film ever. I don't fucking trust those guys anymore since the last Star Wars movie. I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes anymore, man. Those fucking guys can sit on something. But no. But anyways, going back to RoboCop, I did watch the original 1984 version. That's the Paul Verhoeven version, I think. And I was like, I first saw it when I was like 7 or 9 years old. Jesus Christ, dude, that shit was intense. Just watching a dude's hand get blown off in real time just changes something in you, man. I mean, somehow, it's not real, obviously, but Jesus. And the scene where the bad guy just unloaded the shotgun shells into Murphy at point blank. I remember even then as a kid, I was like, whoo! Fucking, I mean, they just don't fucking make movies like that anymore, man. I think we're getting soft. I watched RoboCop when I was like, I watched the original Terminator before I was 10 years old, you know. Try to do that today and, you know, try to let your kids watch those movies and you have the council people knocking on your door 15 minutes in. People are too soft. But anyways, I kept telling myself that I tell myself that I'll make my kids watch those movies, you know. I'm going to be a great dad, by the way. At least once a month, you know, so that when they become sentient enough, they can appreciate it. Especially if they're boys, yeah, I'll just double the dosage. I'll make them watch RoboCop 2. Oh, fuck. I mean, remember that fucking, you know, ED-109, I think ED-109, yeah, that's the robot that's like, you have 16 seconds to comply. I remember that scene in the boardroom meeting, and they were trying to do a demo, and the robot obviously went nuts and just totally fucked this guy up. And, you know, it's just, I mean, you had to see that scene. You just load it up on YouTube, it's just like, and then again, it's one of those things where you can actually watch that on YouTube, right? Watch, like, this thing just shoot this guy, you know, and obviously, but you can't, I don't know. I was going to make a point there, but I stopped, because I think my point just broke down in my head. But yeah, anyways, I remember just watching this scene where this thing just unloaded entire drums of armor-piercing rounds into a single human being. Again, point blank distance, and I was just like, I remember watching it as a kid. I was like, oh my god, ED-109 just killed this dude. And there was a moment where there was no one saying anything in the boardroom of OCP, you know, Omni Consumer Products. And everyone's recovering. And one of the board members, you know, it's how fucking soulless the guy was. Just like, is he dead? Oh, I want to watch RoboCop right now. It also had an amazing theme sound though. Theme song. Oh my god. Man, I need to watch it again. I need to watch all of these movies, man. I think I saw it 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and I didn't even have it on DVD. But I'd buy that for $1. Now, if you've seen RoboCop, the original one, you would get it. And I remember watching the second RoboCop movie. Oh, no, not even the second one. The recent RoboCop movie that was made. And I was just like, I saw that scene in there. I was like, I just laughed because I know a lot of the younger kids, they wouldn't get it. But those of us that grew up in the 80s would totally get it. It's like, I buy that for $1. No, but they just don't make movies like that anymore, man. Oh, man. Yeah, us people that matured during the 80s must have had been outright savages. Literally. Oh. No, even the people before us, because we grew up in the 80s, but I'm sure the people before us that grew up and matured in the 80s must have been absolute savages, man. I mean, the shit you could get away with back then, it's just totally fucking insane. I mean, yeah, you could get some great movies like, you get some great movies like The Goonies, Terminator. I mean, what a goddamn movie. Honestly, the guy just killed people because he's a fucking Terminator. He's supposed to kill people, And obviously, you got like Chuck Norris's Delta Force, Missing in Action, the Van Damme movies, Rambo, First Blood. And it's always weird for me because I always thought the second movie was the first movie because the second movie had more action. Oh man, those days were glorious. Fucking hell, man. The horror movies were also the shit. I remember watching like the original George Romero Dawn of the Dead when I was like 6 years old. And granted, it's one of the reasons my mom wouldn't speak to one of my uncles anymore. Oh man, George Romero does not fuck around, man. I mean, again, shit like that changes you. Just watching people get torn apart, like chicken. That definitely does something to you, I suppose. Yeah, I think there was this scene where this lady's husband expired and she was, sentimental. She grabbed him and was trying to, she's crying, and the guy just reanimated and just took a chunk off her shoulder, and I was like, yikes! And you saw the whole thing, graphic detail. And I remember the only time a George Romero movie made me sick was, I think that was I felt physically sick because it was too much. It was the Land of the Dead movie. I think that's probably one of the last ones he made, actually. And it was just, there was this scene where this bunch of people just got beset by zombies, and that was the point where I was like, you know what, if they had implied that those people were going to get butchered, that would have been better. But George Romero was like, fuck it, let's just show everything. I was like, oh god, that was horrible. I felt physically sick. I was just like, oh, that was just too much, even for me. And Evil Dead was another great horror movie from the 80s. I mean, again, it's one of those movies I watched at my uncle's place. Seriously, growing up in Nigeria during the 80s, as a poor kid who was also bored and make you do almost anything to eliminate the boredom, even if it means just piling my mates into my uncle's place just to watch any movie you felt like watching in the afternoon, especially like when there's electricity. The few times there's electricity, dude, I mean, this scene I remembered from the Evil Dead was when one of the demonically possessed chicks just stabbed this other chick with a sharp pencil in the fucking ankle, man. And it's just like, yikes, how do you even get the amount of force behind that? Fucking hell. I don't know about you, but it's not for that. I don't even know much about being traumatized, but that scene really stuck with me, I mean, it's the same way I feel about those scenes in the original Dawn of the Dead movie. Like I mentioned earlier, where this lady just gets a shoulder chomped on by a recently dead and reanimated husband. I mean, god damn. I respect those films. I respect it. And the movies in the 80s, it's just a bygone age. People were people back then, man. Now everyone's just soft and PC'd, like politically correct to the fucking tits. And a trigger warning away from like safe spaces. Let me get me fucking started on that. I wonder if situations like these are endemic to peoples of empires during the height of prosperity. I mean, in that decadence is rampant, and the citizenry, just becomes soft. So there's actually no one manning the gates when the barbarians turn up. I mean, that said, I live in Europe, and I swear to Odin, man, the kids these days are just being raised to be soft. And I look at it, and I'm just like, fuck, I look at the cartoons being shown on the telly, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I mean, Peppa Pig, SpongeBob, fucking SquarePants. What the fuck, man? Where's my Power Ranger, man? Where's my fucking G.I. Joe? Saber Riders? Fucking Voltron, motherfucker. Where's all that? And I notice I swear a lot in this one, but I don't mind. Dude, I mean, like, Netflix just, had Voltron remade, and I just watched a remake of it, on their service, and I saw the first hour long episode. Yeah, I shut that shit off, and then just put on my 1984 classic. I'm like, holy shit, oh fucking hell, it's still legit, even in 2016. Okay, granted, the plot was very thin, and in so many instances, but god damn, it's the original Voltron, and whenever he took that fucking blazing sword to slice some fucking raw beast with it, gah, that's the shit I grew up with, man. And that theme song is just so catchy as hell. Oh man, and come to think of it, there's a character in there called Princess Allura. She's still legit. She's so fucking hot. I mean, it's like she's this blonde chick on this planet with pointy ears. I'm like, woo! Well, yeah. I mean, I watch all that macho, violent shit, but I still grew up to be a relatively okay person. I'm not like a serial killer or sociopath, and that's my point, I just finished playing Battlefield 3 on my computer, but do I feel like carrying a gun and go shoot people with it? No, of course not. So that whole argument about like, video games make people like violent and whatnot, that is simply not true. Because otherwise, there will just be murders every day for all those kids that play Call of Duty. I don't even to open that particular, I don't even want to open that particular Pandora's box again. That Pandora's hot, sexy box, by the way. But I now understand that the rise of macho movies in the 1980s were probably a response to the rampant feministic movement in the 70s. Where where am I going with this? I don't know exactly. Actually, there's got to be something in there, I reckon. I mean, anyways, these days boys are just being raised to be like pussies. Breaks my heart. A man shouldn't let his emotions get the better of him, otherwise nothing would ever get done. I mean, okay, imagine the atrocious trench warfare of the First World War. Or fuck it, every major conflict where humans just died. Of course men were scared out of their fucking minds. I mean, it's a fucking war, bullets flying everywhere, your friend's elbow and knees are just like scattered in front of you, and his head is just round the corner because he took an artillery shell for the team. Unwillingly, of course. But, these guys paid the highest price, man. They ultimately sacrificed themselves to ensure others lived on. That wouldn't happen if these dudes were too emotional to get things done. So, in a way, yeah, I mean, dudes should have emotions, but they must also know, at least that's the way I believe it, how to curb it, how and when to curb it. If it doesn't benefit you, if it's not beneficial, it's not warranted with the situation, I mean, just keep that shit under control. I mean, are you going to appeal to the emotion of an intruder into your home, just try and sit him down while he's wielding a knife, saying, listen, I know you want to rob me, but can we talk about this first? Just relax. Dude, can we talk about it? Why are you swinging your knife at me? The moment someone gets into your house, you would go into prime or ultra-defensive mode, devoid of all but the prime instinct to protect your immediate tribe, which is your family, your loved ones, right? So yeah, thought so. Jesus Christ. I think I started off talking about fucking annoying flies. God. Oh well. I remember I was cycling to work on one morning when some insects literally, and I suspect it must have been a fly because this thing just came out of nowhere and literally just dive bombed into my right cheek while in motion. It's just like those fucking German Stuka dive bombers on the Eastern Front in 1944. And I remember thinking, fucking hell, I mean, Jesus Christ, how is that? How is that? I kept going, of course, but I mean, okay, like, really, okay. I had protective eyewear, thank God, but it was kind of disturbing that this insect literally just appeared out of fucking nowhere and smacked bang into me. I mean, don't insects have radar? I know flies, they have compound eyes. Maybe that's why they drive, that's most likely why they fly all crazy. But, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, just humor me for a second. Honestly, you think those things would have some form of, I don't know, just some kind of bioscanner radar type mechanisms to, I don't know, perhaps detect in advance and promptly this huge fucking giant that's headed towards you. I mean, like, the simple stuff. God damn it. I mean, I fucking hate those life forms, man. I'm telling you, I fucking call me a speciesist. Yeah, I'm a fucking speciesist. I fucking hate flies. I fucking hate cockroaches. I say fuck a lot, and I should probably curb that. But I'm being honest here. I really do hate flies with every fiber of my body. Honest to the All-Father Odin. But hey, see how I brought it in full circle back to where we started, But yeah, so imagine we get driven on the ground by these Volkswagen van-sized mini helicopter variants of flies that are jacking people. I reckon that over time would all just turn out to be dwarves and just start growing beards to the point where outsiders they can't even tell the difference between male and female dwarves. Maybe that's why the dwarves are like the way they are in the Lord of the Rings, movies. Remember those dudes? Yeah, a bunch of dudes living on the ground, digging for treasures all day long and never entertaining the thought of sharing anything with anyone. Okay, so I will take issue with the sheer fact that I've never actually seen a female dwarf in ever. I've never seen one. Ever. Have you ever seen one? Have you seen a female dwarf? Let me know, because I haven't seen one. Not in the Snow White movies. I mean, yeah, fine. I'm talking about Lord of the Rings, franchise, or even the Warhammer Fantasy Universe, if you're familiar with that particular hot pot. But seriously though, what the fuck? What the fuck is up? I'm doing it again, but I don't care. What the fuck is up with the dwarves anyway? I mean, all they do, they really just gain it up in the underground caverns. Not saying that's a bad thing, of course. All day and night, like those rave party folks at the Matrix films. Can you imagine that scene from the Matrix, but just now with dwarves? Honestly, can you imagine that? I mean, yeah, is that what they do all day? I mean, yeah, if that's what they do, so and that's the way they are, yeah, that's cool. But why haven't we seen a female dwarf at this point? It's the current year, like that asshole Justin Trudeau would say. It's the current year. Why haven't we seen a female dwarf in 2016? Where are the dwarven females? I think that's a question. That should be the name of this episode. Where are the dwarven females? I mean, do they even exist? And if so, why haven't they appeared anywhere? Hollywood, what the fuck, man? Tolkien, dude, bless ya, but seriously, dude, what is it? What? Do you have anything against female dwarves, man? Where are my goddamn female hot, hairy, stout, sexy female dwarves? God damn it! I demand my female dwarves. What's happening? I don't know. I reckon Tolkien's not secretly sexist against female dwarves, is he? Yeah, he's dead now, so we'll never find out. How about Hollywood stand up, or step up, actually? Yeah. Are we what's the deal? Again, what's the deal with dwarves? Are they simply grown in the soil and harvested like root tubers? Yeah. I'm talking about the dwarves in the Lord of the Rings movies, man. Honestly, calm down. I mean, are dwarven women so rare that there's just one female dwarf for every 318 male dwarves? Is that the case? Because if that's the case, then yeah, I mean, those dwarven females must be the most robust, sturdy female life forms in existence, just like dwarven bukake all day and night, non-stop, 24/7. Oh man, I mean, you cannot watch the Smurfs. Honestly, remember the Smurfs, right? You cannot just watch the Smurfs, and not think about that, or the fact that there was only, and probably still is, a single female Smurf in the whole entire goddamn village. Why is nobody looking into that shit? Honestly, what the fuck is going on there? How does that even work? Does Smurfette have a quota for the amount of Smurfs you can take in on a daily basis? is that whole society communal to the point where they just share, quote unquote, all the wealth. I mean, again, more hot, sweaty scenes of bukkake comes to mind. And not that I would know what a bukkake is. I mean, I know things. I just know things. I've been living for a long time. You tend to know these things. And yeah, imagine rave parties too, you know? I'm also sure Smurfette must have the ego of Jupiter or some shit like that. Her being, she, of course, being the only female in town must mean that a Smurfy little vajayjay is more valuable than helium-3 or unobtainium for that matter. Honestly, because the only female in town must have literally, being the only female in town must literally have, skyrocketed the sexual market value to the moon. I bet you that there's probably a couple of Smurfs in the village that must get all hot and fucking bothered when little cute Smurfette walks past, and I'm sure they I'm sure they certainly don't fancy the positions on the arse end of a 491 male Smurf line. Imagine that. Gotta wait for wait, how's that even different from real life sometimes? You gotta wait months on end to have a pop. Oh man. And how about the sheer fact that I just literally murdered a whole entire childhood for almost everyone listening to this. Oh my god. But no. Having now said that, are there any commercial sex workers capitalizing the stock in Alaska? Come to think of it, actually. Or the occasional offshore oil rig? There must be at least 3 of them willing to just move into such areas. I mean, hell, they won't even need to put in the effort, to be honest. Being, one of 4 women in the town should nicely trigger what I now call the Smurfette effect. You heard it here, folks. The Smurfette effect. Yeah, that's I came up with that just now. I suppose working working the beat in such a place like Alaska does require some form of precaution or precautionary measures. I mean, you'd probably just need to be able to operate a firearm for starters, maybe a pump action shotgun. If you just happen to run into a bear along the side of your car on a Thursday evening, just shy of 11:38 p.m. Alternatively, as a female, you may want to keep something close for the occasional odd customer that just doesn't quite know when his time is done and it's time for him to move on. I mean, a taser, I recommend a taser actually, would be perfect, or pepper spray even. I reckon the job hazard potentially involves getting past the grizzly bear level of hair on dudes. I mean, some dudes are just like Sasquatches, man. Believe me, if you get past the rug burns, the unavoidable static shocks of having copious amounts of hair rub on your bare skin, coupled with even more razor beard burns taken from dudes having since abandoned any semblance of personal hygiene and grooming, and its tormented downpour of sweat-laced rain experienced when the dudes just mounts you and somehow gets too excited. I mean, Jesus. Yeah, I would do better pay up a particularly handsome amount at that point. You might want to just pack on a container load of Norwegian skin cream or something. Oh, man. But yeah, again, like I said, I started this episode talking about flies, man. Jesus Christ, it's 9:30. I gotta wrap this up. But no, I mean, I never even got to tell you guys about the main reason why I only cook at night these days. I mean, yeah, you guessed it, flies. Yeah, it's fucking flies, man. I remember I was still living in a house share at the time, and it was summer, and the heat made the heat actually made the black beans stink because of all the the garbage in them and everything composting and the gases coming out. Anyways, as I got cooking, I noticed flies were getting restless just outside the window, itching to get in. So I quickly locked all the closest windows to the kitchen and proceeded to lock away, all the windows in the bathroom adjacent to it, because it's odd design. The bathroom was literally next to the kitchen. Yeah, that done. I continued cooking my stew to completion. After that, about an hour, making sure to check that my cooking operation was well done. I shut down everything, leaving my stew on the stove to cool off, and headed to town to forage for supplies. Now, it's worth noting that I left the lid on the pot slightly open just for the steam to come out, so the stew doesn't cook itself. Doesn't overcook itself. Anyways, I got home from my shopping trip, dropped off my gear, and headed for the kitchen to check on my stew. Being Captain Hindsight, I probably should have known what to expect, but as I opened the door to the kitchen area, Christ, it was like a freaking bazaar actually. All of a sudden, just fucking cunty flies everywhere. I remember I immediately went straight for my stew in a vain, foolish hope that everything would be okay, but nah, of course not. This is real life. I found I found one of those fucking cunts, literally inside the pot. It somehow squirmed itself in and landed right in the middle of my stew and died. It suffocated and died because of the oils and whatnot. And there was just another one that was literally stuck near the lid of the pot trying to get in. And that's when I lost my shit, because I was like, I spent 2 hours cooking this thing and it was ruined. I wouldn't eat it now, So, oh man, I remember just rolling up a piece of paper and I literally just closed all the doors and started killing. I killed 11 flies that afternoon. I killed all of them. I didn't care. I just hunted them all down and killed them. And I literally, I basically noticed that they'd come in through the bathroom's ventilator fan that wasn't active. It was, because you have to switch it off. And I think that's how they got in, because they followed the smell through the ventilators and just... Fuck. Yeah, flies. Fuck those flies. Fuck them. I killed every last one of them. And if you're going to give me shit for killing flies, fuck you as well. I don't know. Why don't you defend flies? That's the thing. So we're species too. No one gives a fuck if you picked up an ant and just rubbed it clean of its life. But the moment you do that to a bird, everyone freaks out. Sometimes, sometimes people don't care about birds. But yeah, I fucking kill those things. And that's why I cook at night, man. I don't cook during the day, especially during summer. So unless it's winter, when all the flies are dead or they've just all moved somewhere else, yeah, I cook at night. Fucking flies, man. I swear to God. I fucking killed all 11 of them. I didn't care. I killed all of them. Oh, man. But yeah. So that's exactly why I only cook at night now, because fucking flies everywhere. So annoying. But I did invest in like one of those electrified kind of tennis racket thingies. So yeah, that should be fun. I enjoy killing flies with it now, because it just gives you like, it's kind of just working on my backswing over there. But yeah, anyways, I think I'll stop here. It's 9:30. I gotta go do some dishes and do some boring logistical stuff. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, or at least tolerated my ramblings for another hour or something. I appreciate it. And hopefully I should be able to get someone next week. Maybe I'll get Audacious back in here. I might get one of my other buddies who's never been on, actually. So, yeah. Thank you for listening to episode 19. Hope you guys have a great start to the week. And I'll speak to you soon. Take it easy, man. Cheers. Bye-bye.